Sa una nga panahon, ang amon nga kabuhian dira sa kampwistuhan, ga illegal kami.
Maabdan ko pa nga damo pa tuya kahoy. Kumbaga makita ko nga sipot gidya.
During that time, ang aton nga forest, masyado gid ang devastation. Ang illegal logging, very rampant siya.
The beautiful thing with the bleeding heart dove species, there are 5 species in the Philippines, is that they have these little red marks right in the middle of their chest, which looks like their heart is bleeding out of their body. And it's said that their heart is bleeding for the loss of their habitat, their home, as it is constantly being degraded and cut down with the deforestation that we're seeing around us today.
This might actually be the rarest dove in the world.
It may be the rarest dove in the world now.
So that one will be pretty much extinct.
We cannot say for sure, but possibly. Which means that this may well
Be the rarest right
be the only one left.
now. Wow. And it's gorgeous.
They are beautiful.
That is really beautiful bird. Like look at the colorations going from I'm utterly speechless. This is one of the best days I've ever had.
So these are what we use to track.
But this is what basically we use to download all the data to put it on the map and see where are they going and what are they about.
Good morning, we're on our way to Bayawan City on the western side of Negros. I am so freaking excited, couldn't sleep at all. It's gonna be one of the most exciting days since I arrived here in Negros. This is one of my bucket list. We're gonna be seeing one of the rarest, if not the most rare bird in the Philippines today. Let's go! Welcome to Bayawan City, land of the farmers. Look at that one. This is Matt. He's going to be showing me around today. What we have here in front of us is the Napa Nature Reserve.
Yeah. Well, the Bayawan Nature Reserve, sorry.
So there are, yeah,
New name change.
yeah, in the works. It's
Yeah.
what, 30 hectares?
300.
300.
Yeah.
And this is a sight you don't see every day because what you see in front of you
Yeah.
is
Goes all the way down there.
pure untouched jungle. And some of this area is actually fenced off. We haven't entered yet. We're just on the highway, making our way into this side. Hey, Budak! And I can already tell, like, we got some sea of clouds, untouched jungle. I am so freaking excited to see. Are we gonna see the Hornbill today?
Yeah.
It's like a dream come true for me, guys. Like, it's been on my bucket list for so long. And this is how you know it's a good conservation group. Sanitizing the wheels. Kamusta, brad?
Hello.
Sanitize?
Okay lang, ah.
Yeah, okay lang.
Mabuti.
Largely around Asia, called African swine fever,
Right.
which is a virus which affects pigs, as in the name swine, and it is in the Philippines, and it is incredibly deadly to pigs. It is very detrimental to the pork industry, but it is also very deadly to wild pigs. Now, it hasn't yet hit Negros, but it is in Mindanao, it is in Luzon, it is in the East Visayas, and so we are spraying any vehicles that come in and out of the reserve just to make sure that our wild pigs, which are running wild here, do not get affected by any vehicles.
Have you guys ever seen that? Have you ever seen a deer sign in the Philippines? Wild deers. Ha! Awesome. What do we got there, Matt?
So this is what we call a radio telemetry receiver and antenna. So these are what we use to track our Visayan water pigs and Visayan spotted deer using radio tracking or radio telemetry. And this is an ear tag that sends out that radio frequency. So this is currently in one of our Visayan water pigs, which are going to be releasing today. And this is going to help us locate that animal when it's in the forest.
Wow. Hear that, guys? We're gonna release endemic. Is it endemic?
It is endemic to Negros and Panay only.
All right, we're here with Guillerman, who is a recent graduate from Silliman University in Dumaguete, and he was showing me this really cool instrument about how to track the Visayan hornbill, because it's a bird. And are they allowed to carry decent amount of weight, or does it have to be light? But then they showed me this cool instrument here. This is the tracker for the Visayan, right?
Yeah, so this is a GPS tag that we use on the Visayan Tarictic hornbills. Basically, we use it to track. It collects the data of their habitat movement around the reserve. And if you see over here, there's a solar panel, which basically means that we don't have to worry about bringing it back and charging it, because the sun will take care of it. And in order to track this GPS tag, we use this equipment, which is an antenna and a radio telemetry receiver. But this is what basically we use to download all the data to put on the map and see where are they going and what are they about.
That's awesome. That's so important when you're doing conservation or re-establishing wildlife into the wild. You have to know their locations, like probably
Totally, yeah.
the number one thing you start off with first, tracking their movement. So that's awesome to see you guys are having the equipment and able to do what you're doing here.
Totally, yeah.
We've been here like 20 minutes learning about everybody, what the role, what the job is here. I'm getting serious education as well about the pigs, for example, why they're kind of endangered now, because they're super invasive. So wherever there's crops, the pig likes to destroy the crops of the farmers. So the only solution the farmers have had in the past is to obviously get rid of the pigs. And these are endemic pigs, like super rare. When all the forest was cut, crops came up, the pigs, you know, they looked at the crops and thought that was tasty.
6 new deer that we're introducing into the reserve now.
Guys, I just saw my first Visayan spotted deer. Endemic to Negros and Panay, I think. Gorgeous, so beautiful. We have to take a closer look later, guys. Give you guys some shot of that. I'm just following them as of now. This is incredible.
Oh, the bad butt.
Is that the baboy?
No, there's a deer.
Wow! Look at him! You weren't kidding.
Going inside.
Matt, you weren't kidding about the mohawk.
Yeah.
See the other guy in the other cave?
Are you serious? That is a funny pig. Well, to bring out the zoom lens later, guys, this is hilarious.
He's been through enough trauma.
So that's endemic.
Yeah.
Only felt Panay and Negros.
Negros, yeah.
So what happens if we enter the gate? Is it aggressive? Is it gonna be scared of us?
No,
What's the
it'll be
natural
scared.
instinct? Yeah.
Yeah,
most
it's just
animals
gonna
always-
run. I mean, you don't want to corner one of these guys because
Right. Yeah.
they are
never correct.
big, they are heavy animals, and they have tusks.
The tusk, yeah,
males
I can
in
see that,
particular,
yeah.
you can see it sticking out.
Yeah.
The big boars, so we have some males here, they're big guys.
50
and
kilos of muscle.
Yeah, they'll easily barrel through, and their tusks are about this big. So, like, that'll rip straight through
Your
your
flesh,
legs.
yeah. Look, you see her very close. He gonna runs like a dog. It's very.
They are, you know,
They're so fast.
this isn't some fat little thing that trots
No.
on the ground. These can run and
like
they
a
can jump.
Lion after you. Damn, that's.
I mean, we've had these pigs able to escape enclosures like this. They can climb, they can jump. They are very athletic animals.
Okay, they're gonna release the pig. See him come out. There he is. You're free! Run! You're free! See ya! Oh man, that's awesome to see.
Endemic to the West Visayas. So in the West Visayas we have two
Wait,
hornbill
there's
species.
two endemic hornbills.
Two endemic hornbills.
I thought it was just one.
No, we have two endemic hornbills to the West Visayas. We have the Tarictic hornbill, which is where our foundation comes from, or the rufous-headed hornbill, or the Walden's hornbill. It's the largest hornbill we have in the West Visayas. It's also one of the rarest hornbills in the world.
Yeah.
Critically endangered. Unfortunately, it has been declared functionally extinct on Negros, which means that there's pretty much none left on Negros. They are still on Panay. They are breeding on Panay, we know that. And it is one which we work with our foundation in captivity, but we don't have any in the wild.
Even from here, guys, it's such a beautiful bird.
And it took us over 9 years to breed them. That's
Right.
how hard it is to keep them in captivity.
But successful.
Successful. Now we have got back-to-back success breeding these birds in captivity. But this is the first time, I think it was, what, 2018, 19, 20, first time we've had back-to-back success
Wow,
breeding.
every year.
Yeah. In terms of hornbills, there is another hornbill species, the Sulu hornbill,
yeah.
which is
heard
the
about it.
rarest hornbill in the world.
Yeah.
Rufous-headed hornbill, which we have here on Negros, is still one of the rarest hornbills in the world. But yeah. Oh, we have 11 hornbill species in total in the Philippines, all of them endemic to the Philippines.
They're all endemic?
All endemic.
You saw a courtship between a male and a female. There used to be 3 boys fighting over one of the girl, and one of the boys won her over, and then the 2 other ones flew away. But they had trackers on them, and these ones came back. So they learned a lot from that. When they're gonna release them back into the wild, there has to be enough of them so they can find an area to be mating, basically. Introducing them back, but this is like a dream come true to see this. I can't believe it. We have to go back. We don't want to disturb it too much. Unbelievable. I'm just so lucky to be able to see this, and I hope a lot more people come and get involved with this, because what they're doing here, if you think about it, these species, these animals, they're going extinct like forever. And this is all we got left. Small facility here, Bacolod as well. That's it. They're endemic. Like there's none left. But they're doing something about it. So inspiring what these guys are doing. Like, these guys are the real deal. Philippine Eagle Foundation as well. You know, I just wish this place would get more support, because they've already been declared extinct on the island of Negros, but here they are. Here they are. The Visayan spotted deer. If you're a long-time follower, I'll put this on my top 10 species to find in the Philippines. And I know it's not like it's in the wild or anything, but this is probably the best place they're kept as of now, considering that they're almost extinct. And this is not a zoo. This is a conservation area, which means they're breeding them. They're introducing them back into the wild. And yes, of course, a lot of zoos do that, and a lot of zoos work like hospitals. So if you go to a zoo, make sure you do a research about it before you go. But here, yes, they're locked up, but what they're doing to them and their work is just makes it so awesome. Like, I'm utterly speechless. This is one of the best days I've ever had. The Visayan spotted deer is one of the few deers in the world that keep their dots on their back their whole lives. Just like whale sharks, you can identify each individual. The International Union for Conservation of Nature currently has them as endangered species. However, Matt told me they'll be updating it to critically endangered due to the fact that they haven't been seen in the wild around Sipulan or Twin Lakes for over a decade. There's no way to know the exact numbers of them in the wild, but their estimation in Negros Island is around 100. And if you thought that was a rare endemic species, then wait until what Matt is about to show you now. Okay, what do we got here, Matt?
So this is the fourth of what we call our West Visayan Big Five, or our Negros Big Five. This is the Negros bleeding heart dove, another endemic species to Negros and Panay region, the West Visayan region. 3 of them are critically endangered. This one is one of them. However, the other 2 bleeding heart species no one has seen for many years, and we do not have any of them in captivity. So we don't even have any available to breed or put back in the wild.
So that one will be pretty much extinct.
We cannot say for sure, but possibly. Which means that this may well
Be the rarest right
be the only one left.
now. Wow. And it's gorgeous.
They are beautiful.
That is really beautiful bird. Like, look at the colorations going from kind of dark teal green into brownish, light brown, and then the red line in the center of the body. So unique.
They're actually what we call ground dwelling doves.
Ah.
So they will spend most of their day feeding and walking around on the ground. But this makes them easy targets for predators.
Exactly what I was
So
thinking.
they get eaten a lot by snakes, by cats, civet cats even. So a
And
lot of
human
things will eat
traps.
them. And traps. They get caught a lot by traps.
You
these
know what
days.
I've seen when I climbed Mount Talines?
Yeah,
Lots of traps.
yeah.
And then I've gone all over Negros in the province, and everybody has an air gun.
Yes,
There's so many air guns here.
yeah.
It's a huge
Yeah.
problem.
One thing that we've done here in this area with the local city government is the mayor of Bayawan issued an ordinance that anyone in the barangays who hands in air guns gets an amnesty. So you can hand in air guns and you have any charges dropped against you revolving around the weapons, and barangay captains who confiscate air guns actually get rewarded for those confiscations. So there is an active drive to try and remove those weapons from this rural area, because we do know this is a problem for birds, and as we are trying to reintroduce these birds into this area, we need to get rid of that problem.
So one of the process of introducing these animals back into the wild is to train them to be ready for other predators, because these ones are all brought in from captivity. So they're training them before they enter the wild to be alert for predators such as eagles, snakes. So what they do is they have this string here, all the way from here and up there, and then they attach a fake bird that goes up and down, up and down. It keeps them alert. So when they're in the wild and they see an eagle or something, they won't just look at the bird and, wondering what that is and be killed. So when they're in the wild, they're able to fly away or be more aware of their situation. Was a scientist who was working in North Negros. What? It's like a freaking tiger.
Yeah.
Wow. They're showing me video footage of camera traps in the forest. So they strap these around trees, I guess.
Yeah.
And then an animal, if it goes into the sensor, the infrared camera, or daytime, will start recording. So they capture some amazing footage from these cameras in the wild. Like, I'm mind blown about seeing this Visayan wildcat or
Leopard cat.
leopard cat.
Yeah.
It's like a freaking leopard in the Philippines. We're like in Africa. Look at this leopard.
But much more.
Wow. So we're now in the jungle, and this is one of the camera traps. And here's like a feeding station to help them get back into the wild. So if they have some problems of finding food, they can still come here. And also, more importantly probably, is that socializing. They've been coming around here, forming like a hierarchy. Who's the leader of the group?
Let me show you. So we got here, you say it's card full.
Oh, okay.
If we go to the mode, we can see the playback.
Oh, we can even review it.
Look.
Let me show you guys something. This is a 500 peso. And there's a bird here. Blue-naped parrot. Hey bro, you look the same or? Let me see. Sorry.
There's another one that's coming over to check it out.
Oh yeah, that's you right there, buddy.
So in Luzon, the blue-naped parrots are still doing okay. They're really badly affected by the pet trade, but they're still hanging on in the wild. In Negros, however, the pet trade and the illegal foresting has almost decimated them, and you cannot find them anymore in the wild, which is why we really want to try and get them back.
Wow. It was always a dream of mine to see some of the endemic species of Negros when I arrived here, but my highlight of the day was definitely to learn about their operation, learning about the conservation effort, and Matt, who has been doing this for over 11 years in multiple countries, and now his focus is here in the Philippines on Negros Island. As well, learning about a municipality of Bayawan that really wants to help the environment, of becoming one of the top nature reserves in the country. Learn more about their project on talarock.org and the amazing people behind this project. I'll also leave links down below where you can go visit their Facebook pages and Instagram. Show them some love because they just started their operation about 2 years ago in Bayawan. So let's spread the message, let's spread the love, and I'll see you guys in the next vlog. Peace out.